Everybody there love the sound. That's why they give you hugs and
back
pounds.
and one for William Maple.
You got the whole world bobbing the same. You ain't doing this for watches and chains. You got love for the
Rise up, young king. It's showtime.
Thank you for tuning in to Love of the Games podcast, your journey, your story. Got a special guest, Louis Bleechmore. How are you today, man?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me.
Nah, it's a pleasure, man. Been seeing you hoop, 32 points.
Yes, sir.
How's ball treating you at the moment?
It's good. Tiring, but now we're pushing through. UBL's going well. Really making a push for the finals, so just got to get it done and secure the deal.
We're going to be talking a lot about UBL. But look, before we do start the show, I would like to thank our major sponsor, Home Security, for a dream teammate that will help you get bang for your buck. Home Securities is your dream teammate. Now, we're going to let Obi tell you all about their amazing giveaway that they got in store for you guys. So for now, kick back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Hey, Australian basketball fans, want to fly to Athens? Business class? Home Securities is making it happen. Refinance or buy a home with them. Each property settled is an entry. If you don't have one, refer a mate, double the points. The draw is streamed live on Instagram on the 1st of May 2026 at 7 p.m. Follow Home Securities. Let's go. 2 seats, 1 week, 4 games. Athens, are you in?
Our first segment's brought to you by Sensory's Kitchens. For the freshest and cleanest look, Sensory's Kitchens will get you up to speed. Now, our Love of the Game icebreaker is I get to ask you any 2 questions.
Yep.
And you get to ask me any 2 questions also.
Yep.
So my question is, look, I first kind of like laid eyes on you and your game at the UBL. How did you get about playing for the MVP squad?
Great question. So I had seen a lot of those boys just online, like UBL highlights and stuff. And I had played with all of them at some point throughout my basketball journey, whether it's pickup runs, old high school games, like just different kind of walks of life. I had played with one of those guys at some point. So I had a couple UBL teams reach out to me and express some interest, but I didn't really have that personal kind of connection or relationship with them. But I knew the boys at at MVP. And I knew Coach Rye as well. So I actually reached out to Coach Rye. And I was like, hey, Coach, like, I'm not sure if you have any more available spots, but, I'm hearing from some UBL teams and, out of all of them, I'd be most comfortable with you guys. So is there a spot? And he was happily brought me in and said that someone left. So I was able to take their spot. And then, it's kind of been magic ever since.
Yeah, and who was the second team? Who was the closest team?
I think it was it Southwest Sonics? I think it was Southwest Sonics had reached. Yeah, Southwest Sonics had reached out. The team that actually beat us.
That would be clean.
Yeah, so I guess shout out to them. But they reached out to me, and it was nothing against them at all. I'm more comfortable going with people that I know, and I trust everybody over there. Coach Rye has seen me since I was like 14, 15, and he's always believed in me. So, kind of like paying it back and, showing love. So I thought about, just join MVP.
And do you know what's kind of riding for MVP after last season? Is there like a redemption season this year?
Yeah, no, I heard about the tragic loss and the run that they had last year, which kind of motivated me all the more to, want to kind of bring whatever I can to help them and try and take that final spot back. And I know all the boys are gunning for that top spot. Obviously we had that banger of a game last week against Crossover. We're just really gunning for that top spot, and I personally think we can do it. I think we have enough talent and we have the teamwork to do it, so we just got to keep putting one foot in front of another and get it done come finals time.
No, definitely you do have the talent on that squad. I think the whole Div 1 finals is going to be amazing.
It's going to be crazy.
So if you don't know about it, make sure you do come down to Auburn. Now, all right, you got the next question?
Yeah. My question for you would be, if you could sit down and have a conversation with your 10-year-old self, what would be... I know one piece of advice is quite specific, but what's like the first piece of advice you would give your 10-year-old self?
That's a deep question, man. 10-year-old self, I'm just trying to look back where I was at 10 years. Because I'm 32, so that was like 22 years ago. Honestly, I would probably just tell myself to just believe in yourself. I know it's tough because, as I said, like I kind of like grew up with my childhood without my mum, so I kind of didn't have that whole emotional support. So I kind of had to do things or figure stuff out by myself because my dad was always working and he wasn't the most emotionally invested person sort of thing. So when life did kind of get tough throughout the years, kind of always just shied away from things. And honestly, that's kind of like a big reason why I created Love of the Game, was because I always struggled to talk to people, struggled to kind of like put myself out there. I was always one that just loved the whole quiet space, just being to myself, leave me alone sort of thing. But anytime it came down to talking sports, wow, I could talk for days. I could talk for days. And as I grew up, that whole mental health aspect of kind of like just not believing myself kind of took a toll, because you kind of do have a lot of regrets, like what ifs, what could have been, what could I have done if I kind of took those steps forward.
Yeah.
And then that's why I kind of created the whole Love of the Game concept, just for like men to kind of just come talk sports, talk life. And you know how it is, man, when you kind of like talk sports with someone, you always remember that conversation, whether it's your favorite team, anything like that.
You're more willing to open up. Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, my old 10-year-old self, I'll just say believe in yourself. And if you have something in mind, go get it, go try, because I was always scared of failure. But now I kind of just see failure as like a lesson that you can kind of learn from things. So that's literally what I would tell my 10-year-old self.
Great.
Now, I had a deep question too for my second question.
Okay, perfect.
Now, you kind of left home, went to America to kind of chase your dreams at 16.
Yeah.
And talking to you, I feel like you've kind of come back home as a man sort of thing.
For sure.
What's the biggest life lesson that you learned from that adventure that you're going to remember for the rest of your life?
How to be okay with being on your own. Loneliness and kind of navigating those 8 years on my own were really tough. And it started from the first day that I got there till the day that I left. There were times where I would lean into other people and invest a lot in relationships and kind of pour a lot into others whilst not pouring enough into myself. And it's really trying to fill a God-shaped void with earthly things. And, I know as well as anybody that that's impossible. So, really trying to overcome that battle and also that self-discovery battle, I'd say was the toughest thing, just because it really forces you to have to isolate. And, us as humans, we're social creatures. We love to be out and about, learn from one another, spend time with one another, be social and connect with people. But that alone time and that self-discovery and that learning about yourself is truly probably the most important thing, because, when your tank's on E and you can't give out anymore, you've got to be able to come back to somewhere and re-energize, recuperate, to then go back out there and continue pouring into others. So without that safety net of having yourself, that's when things can become dangerous, when you're running on E and you don't know what to do. So I'd say, kind of that self-discovery and learning about myself and how to deal with that loneliness was probably one of the toughest things for sure.
And honestly, it's one of the toughest things, but it's also one of the most beautiful things that you go through.
Oh, yeah.
I went through that at about 23, where I actually didn't talk to anyone. Like, I didn't talk to any girls. I didn't get into any relationship because I had to find out who I was and what I wanted from life.
Yeah.
And after that moment, it kind of just changed my life, where I was like, no matter what happens to me now, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And I think I remember seeing one of your other podcasts where you're like, just get me through to the next day.
Yeah.
You can be on empty, but then you can also figure it out. And that was the biggest thing where, because as I said, I struggle to talk about things. And now with my wife, we have this thing where she'll ask me like, what's your battery on? And I'll be like, it's on like 20% sort of thing, because I don't know how to like express that emotion. But when it comes to like numbers,
that's a good way of communicating it, because then that allows her to know, okay, well, he's only got 20% in the tank.
Yeah.
And that's a good way for you to be like, look, this is what I've got, without having to kind of search for too much to explain it. I like that.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like once you find that self, who you are, anytime you bring anyone into your life, it's just to bring positive energy into your life. So as a man, always make sure you do reflect and you find who you are as a person.
For sure.
So I do love that, especially going through that at 16, man. Props to you.
Yeah, and like especially because when I started out, like I had gone to all boys schools in Sydney, and then when I moved to the US, it was an all boys sports campus. So then I go to college and I'm thrown in the mix with girls for the first time, and women can be distractions, and so like even that was a challenge in itself, because it's like I had thought I'd done the work on my own. I thought I'd figured myself out. And then, you know, I start getting girlfriends and in relationships, and now I'm too invested in the relationship. It's taken away from things that I need to be taken care of. And it had nothing to do with her or you know, whoever. It was all me. Like, I had to be sure enough within myself to be like, okay, this is getting too much, or this is taking away from my basketball too much. Like, I got to remember why I'm here. Just little things like that. And so you have to go through it in order to figure it out. You can't really have it mapped out before going through it. But yeah, it's kind of helped me get to the point where I am today. So, you know, I wouldn't change anything at all.
No, beautiful, man.
Second question for you.
Yeah, ask questions.
Why, for any new listeners and for any young kids watching this, why is love of the game so important, and why is it different from, I'd say, other people that might be trying to do the same thing you're doing? Like, what separates you and makes you special from other people doing similar things to you?
That's a great question. Honestly, just the fact that I'm literally just doing it for the love of the game. Like, honestly, just to get people to kind of chase their dreams, help them inspire people to chase their dreams. Like, I know, like, most of my kind of like listeners are young hoopers trying to get to that next level, and then getting them to hear about your story might inspire them, or maybe go, you know what, I heard Bleechmore talk about this. This is where he kind of made errors.
Yeah.
How can I fix that up? Because I'm big on not learning lessons when you're rock bottom. Learn those lessons while you're still climbing up those ranks, and
For sure.
you never know what doors are going to open up for you. Like, that's what I said when I wish I could tell my 10-year-old self was, if I tried half those things that I wanted to do throughout the years, God knows where I would have been. Maybe
Yeah.
knows how early I would have been. And now when I'm at 32, who knows? Because right now, even when I'm doing this whole love of the game stuff, man, like, it does take a lot of time. Like, I've got my wife who's always saying, yo, like, what about me? Because I'm working full time.
Yeah.
I've got all this stuff, but I'm very passionate about kind of creating this brand that can kind of like help inspire the next generation.
Yeah.
Because I do that through my Dress for Work program. And honestly, some of the men that have come back up to me in about 6 months' time and go, hey, man, like, you actually helped me change my life, where now I'm actually a better father. And being a better father, what does that make you?
About.
It changes the whole cycle about how your kids are going to grow up, how your kids are going to believe in yourself. Like, one of my favorite stories is I had a guy in one of my workshops, and in those workshops, it was part of an employment agency one. So they're there just to tick their Centrelink boxes so they can still get paid. So he was pissed off, man. He's like, bro, I don't want to be here, man. Like, what is this sort of thing? And I'm always upfront with all the guys. I'm like, bro, like, whatever is on your mind, just let it out. You know what I mean? And he goes, yeah, I don't want to be here. Like, it's a waste of time. I'm like, bro, so you can honestly walk out the door, but tell me where you'd be. Like, he smelled like a bit like alcohol and stuff. He wasn't well groomed and stuff. And he's like, bro, I got a daughter in ICU at the moment. I was like, all right, where would you go? Where would you be right now? He goes, I'll probably be at the pub with my mate and then go see my daughter. And I go, how many kids do you have? He goes, I've got 3 kids. And I go, all right, you know, those 2 kids right now, they need their dad more than anything right now. Do you ever tell them to take alcohol for you from the fridge? He goes, yeah. I go, bro, your kids, whenever things get tough or some life situations come up, they're going to go to the drink. Go take your kids out. Go get a ball. Go kick the soccer ball around and stuff like that. And he called me back up 6 months later. He goes, hey, man, I just want to say thank you. I got a job because I actually had to pay for my son's soccer rego. And now my daughter's all right and stuff like that. I actually started talking to a girl. Got my shit kind of sorted, and I just called you to say thank you. And for me, that's what it's all about. And that's why, like, when my wife's like, man, you're spending too much time on this stuff. I'm like, bro, like, I have a dream. I have a goal that I want to get to. Fingers crossed I can get there.
Yeah.
But if I don't get there, at least I tried, you know what I mean? And that's literally what life's all about. You got to give it your best shot and live with the consequences. So,
no, I think the one thing I can take away from the short amount of time that I've known you is, and especially from the love of the game, is just the authenticity. Like, I see you every week at UBL for hours, like, just really trying to not even just build this because it's yours, but build this for, like, the purpose that you have for it, like, to really help others.
Yeah.
And it's that authenticity that will translate. That's why I can see it going places, because it's coming from the right place. It's not coming from a, how can I make money from it? How can I boost myself? How can I look great? It's, how can I put the light on others? And in turn, your plate will be taken care of. So
That's the thing. I'm a big believer on, if you do good things will come back your
Most
way.
definitely.
Might not be straight away, but eventually
Most
stuff will
definitely.
happen, sort of thing.
Nah,
So
you're doing the right things, man.
Nah.
That's good to see.
appreciate that, man. It's a great question to
Yeah,
say.
nah,
Shout
of
out for
course.
that. Now, look, I kind of, before you jumped on the show, I did listen to a few of your podcasts that you kind of do. And I know you talk highly, very highly of your mum. Now, the reason why,
Shout out Lisa.
yeah, and the reason why I'm so high on looking after your mum and all those things is because I kind of grew up without one too.
Yeah.
So if your mum is still alive, yo, make sure you do everything to treat that woman like a queen.
Everything. Make sure like every waking second you have, like do anything that you can to make sure your parents know that you love them, for sure.
I want to ask, like, what has your mum been to you?
My mom's everything, man. Like obviously I've told the story before, but she kind of flipped the switch in my head with basketball. I remember when I was younger, this was before I'd made any rep teams or anything like that. Yeah, I was grinding, but I wasn't, working as hard as I could be. And we're on the way home from Norts after a local comp game. And, I asked her, I'm like, hey, do you think I can make the NBA one day? She goes, no. But in that kind of tone. And I'm like, well, why? You don't believe in me? Like, she's like, no, you don't work hard enough. And bear in mind, this woman knows nothing about basketball, nothing about NBA players or anything like that. She just understands that that's the best league in the world with, the most professional basketball players. And in order to get there, you got to work hard, kind of basic math type of thing. So that's just one story, but countless stories. She was my motivating factor when I was, growing up. Like that was a single mother that raised me and my sister, in Lane Cove. It was tough. We were in a very nice area, but we struggled financially under a single parent household. So I saw the things that, the stress that she went through and the sacrifices that she had to make. And I also understood that, like, if I wanted to make something with basketball, like, she couldn't pay for it and my dad couldn't pay for it. Like, we didn't come from money like that. So, especially going into college, like, the only way I could make it happen was through a scholarship. And the only way I could get a scholarship is by working hard. So really, really small, intricate things like that. She instilled in me the work ethic, to just sacrifice essentially everything to pursue what you're passionate about. So, and then just the unconditional love. Like, even now, I'm a grown man. I come home, there's still food on the table. Like, she's still got a roof over my head. Like, all these little things. Like, when I needed a car before I'm driving the one I'm driving now, she had me. Whenever I needed to borrow it, she got me. So it's all the little things that, a man needs from his mother. My mother's been able to provide for me. So shout out to Lisa.
Hey, Lisa, you've done a great job raising a great man too. So,
Shout out, man.
yeah, because you could tell a lot about a man, about how he treats his mum, sort of thing. Big believer in that.
And I try. I'm not the best son. I could always do more. I think mom knows that as well. But I'm trying. I'm learning. And that was kind of one of the challenges of being away. Obviously, I leave a kid but come back a man. So there's 8 years gone. So it's like the last time I was living with my mom was when I was a kid. So when I first moved home, I'm still in that kind of childish mentality of, oh, I don't want to do the dishwasher. Maybe if I leave it long enough, she'll do it, or taking out the rubbish, stuff like that. But now you realize you're a man, you got to be on top of that stuff that she shouldn't even be asking.
Yeah.
So it's like little things like that, taking care of her through doing those little things.
That's one thing I do when I do my workshops, especially when I go to schools, talk to the younger boys. I always tell them, bro, if your mom takes out trash, you're doing a horrible job.
Yeah.
She should never touch the trash. You should do that job
No.
automatically.
Funny story. Before I left to go to the U.S., it was one of my jobs was to do the rubbish. And, yeah, I was being a bad son. I was being lazy. And I think it was like 2 weeks in a row, I'd forgotten to take the bins out. And so she's out there running at like 5 a.m. to beat the rubbish man out there. She's running out there, putting the bins away, yelling at me when she gets back. And so then she's like, I've had enough. She's like, go live with your dad. So I go live with dad for a week. And then I realized I was like, oh, I really got to step my stuff up. So then a week later, I come back to mom's. I'm like, I'm doing the rubbish. I'm making sure I'm, picking up after myself, doing all the things that I needed to do. And just, it's like little things like that, just being on top of your stuff as a man.
I'm a big believer in those little 1%ers, those discipline.
Yeah.
If you can look after your household and your responsibilities, it will trickle onto the rest of your life and everything that you do. Now, talking about that too, you come down after your whole American experience.
Yeah.
stay home for about a couple of days, and then you
Yeah,
sign
I
in
was-
the NB1 Central in
I was
South,
home-
in
I
South
was-
Australia.
I was
How'd your
in-
mum take that?
Yeah, I was in Sydney for all of about 3 days, and then I got the opportunity to go down to Adelaide, live with my dad again, which was great. I hadn't lived with him for like probably about 10 years, and his family, which was awesome. But yeah, mum was kind of like, all right, well, it's good to have you back, and then off you go. But she understood. I'd been, communicating with her that I was going to go to Adelaide from the moment I knew. So, and we all knew it was only going to be for about 3-4 months. But yeah, I had the opportunity to go down to Adelaide and learn a lot and grow a lot and continue to add on to the basketball journey.
Yeah, because you guys had a disappointing season down there at Central.
Yeah.
But love of the game, we're going to give you some breaking news. Louis Bleechmore is coming back home, playing in the NB1 East. We're not
Playing
going to
in the
reveal what
East.
team. We're not going to reveal what team. But what can NB1 East fans expect from yourself?
Explosive athleticism, consistent 3-point shot, energetic player, team player, just a winner, overall winner. Like, I think the thing I'd like to say I pride myself on, I don't like to use pride too much, but one of the things I pride myself on in basketball is just being a winning player, which sounds contradictory to the season we had in Adelaide. But overall, like, I just impact winning. I like to think I'm selfless. I try and put the other man first. But yeah, just being that team player, that winner. And then as an individual, being explosive, getting on the rim, dunks, consistent 3-point shots, smart plays, driving, kicking, all that kind of stuff, getting everybody involved, and just, firing up the fans. So, any NBL1 fans out here in the East, once the announcement is made, make sure you pull up to all our games, home and away, because it will be a show.
Yeah, if you're going to travel with them down there to Canberra, good luck to you guys, Bandits. But what have you heard about the whole NBL1 East? Like, because I know in previous years, everyone kind of looked down on the NBL1 East. But I feel like over the past maybe 2 years, especially last year, kind of picked up. What have you heard about the whole NBL1 East?
No, especially last year. Even when I was in Centrals, I was hearing about the East. Guys like Jalen Galloway, Kadee, Goodrick from Norths, like all these key players. Obviously, Canberra ended up winning the whole thing. It's just tough. Like, they got some really good players, both imports and locals. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to join the East. Like, I want to be where the competition has all the eyes on it, where it's the most competitive and the highest level players play. Because I feel like I am that. I feel like I can compete at the highest level, no matter where I go, whether that's here in the U.S., anywhere. I kind of just have that self-confidence in myself, not from a point of arrogance, but just from a point of, this has been my life up until now. So if, I'm not going against the best, then what am I doing? And so, after the year that the East had this last NBL1 season, and obviously the fact that I'll still be home, I was like, try and exhaust all my resources to stay out here and see which teams bite and which teams are interested. And, I was fortunate enough to find a home. Announcement coming soon. But, I'm excited to play in the East this year.
And look, it's a great home. It's a great fit for you. And I've kind of been hearing a lot of, like, your roster in particular, but then also a few other names that might be coming into the league.
Yeah.
And, the NBL1 East in 2026 is about to go off.
Yeah, for real. Like, especially if who we're thinking of getting decides to come. Even if not, I think we're still going to turn some heads and shock some people because we're a very tight-knit group. We've played a lot together before in all walks of life. So I'm excited to see what we can bring to the table.
And now, look, I want to talk about the whole UBL experience because, honestly, the whole D1 finals is pretty much like an NBL1 East run.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a bit more like pure basketball because there's no real coaches. It's just like the boys kind of hooping and figuring it out.
Yeah.
And I just want to talk about your kind of journey with MVP at the moment.
Yeah.
But that's a deep squad.
Deep
squad. A deep squad. How have you guys kind of found that adjustment into kind of like letting everyone eat?
The first thing that comes to mind is just trusting each other. We all have a deep respect and trust for one another's game. Games where Ant's got it rolling, we give the ball to Ant, If we kick it, Cho's knocking down threes, it's Cho's night. Henry's night, Henry's night. There's some nights I'll go off. Like, and the one thing I'll say about those guys is they're so selfless. Like, especially for someone like me coming in 3 games late, especially those guys, they've been together for years, and to welcome me in and accept me just like I'm one of them, just speaks to their character, speaks to the type of men they are. And that's why I feel like it's such a cohesive fit, because they're such good people. Anybody that can welcome a new player in, and, you know, I'm not going to sit here and just say I was like a low-key player. Like, I came in and, you know, I made some noise right away, taking a lot of shots and kind of just doing my thing. So for them to be able to accept that, bring that on board, and also work around that, just, you know, respect to those guys. And yeah, much love to them.
And you make a great point there, because I remember when you first walked into that gym, I was like, bro, who the hell is this guy, man? This guy's a grown-ass man coming in like, yo, who the hell did
With a
MVP
baby
decide?
face.
And they were like, oh, he just came from college.
Yeah.
And I was intrigued to see how you would fit in, because I kind of saw that team last season too.
Yeah.
And they're dynamic. And then, yeah, I saw you jacking up your shots, taking your shots, kind of like trying to find your feet in the competition. And they kind of let you have your moments and stuff like that. And as you said, bro, your explosiveness.
Yeah.
Between you and Henry, who's a better dunker?
I'm gonna give it to Henry, just because of my respect for Henry. But a little backstory on Henry and I. So we played at Morris schools. I went to Morris College North Shore. It's changed now, and I think he went to Morris College Ashfield. We were playing each other back in year 7 and year 8. My team went undefeated in year 7, beat him in the finals. We went undefeated in year 8. We play him in the finals in year 8. He goes off against us, absolutely tortures us. They end up winning. They kill our 2-year undefeated streak. I don't think I see Henry until 2019. So that was probably 2014. I don't see him for another 5 years. Then we're working out together. I'm coming home from prep school. I think he's just committed to Morris.
I saw that AUSA photo.
AUSA, yeah. So, yeah, we kind of both went on a similar path, went to the US, finished high school, but we diverged, and obviously he went to college before I did. I took the junior college route. And the funny thing was, the school he started at was in the same conference as the school I ended up finishing at. So a lot of kind of cross paths and stuff with Henry. But yeah, he's such a good dude. Obviously very, very explosive. He's got vert for days. I remember there's an old clip on Facebook, if someone wants to find it, of us having a little dunk show when we were like 15. He had way more hops than me back then. Now, I don't know, it's kind of close. I got some tricks in the bag, but we were meant to have a dunk contest together. There was meant to be like a Red Bull dunk contest event. Unfortunately, it got rained out, so, you know, Red Bull, if you guys want to run that back, I think that would be a very interesting show, Henry and I. But I'd say Henry's a really good dunker.
Hey, Red Bull, disregard that, because I'm actually going to do a Love of the Game event in the very near future.
Oh.
So if you will jump on for a dunk contest, bro.
Hey, well then let's run it for that. Henry, Love of the Game, I'm calling you out right here. Let's get a dunk contest going, brother. The first one got cancelled.
Nah, because honestly, that would be explosive.
It would be. And I know Henry's got some tricks in up his sleeve too. So
it'd be pretty much like a Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine contest there.
Yeah, I would say he's probably the Zach LaVine. I'll be the Aaron Gordon. I don't know, but I think it would be tough. It'd be
So
very,
you might get
very
robbed.
tough.
All right, I'll be the judge. I'll be the judge of that. But now, look, I want to talk to you about the whole UBO experience.
Yeah.
What have you made? What did you hear about it to begin with, and what have you made of it? Because my favorite thing is, everyone knows, like, there's 3 top dogs there.
Mm-hmm.
There's MVP, crossover, and breakdown.
Yep.
And you get everyone's best every single game.
Yeah.
And, my favorite thing is hearing you sometimes during like the mid-first quarter, start of second quarter. Hey, boys, do you really want to win this game? What's it like playing in the UBL and the competition you guys facing?
Nah, so before I played in it, I had never heard of the UBL before. And that's just completely my fault, just being unaware. And so I kind of signed up just to, so I got some runs in weekly that were, to my understanding at the time, somewhat of a high level. But then, once I got here and I saw how competitive it was, like you said, getting everybody's best week in and week out, it kind of shocked me. And then I started to, come in week and week out and see, all right, these guys play NBL 1 in the East. So it's kind of like the off-season runs for NBL1 guys out here in the East. And so that's when I was like, okay, this is, high-level basketball. But again, like you said, we can't slack off. So there's times where, we'll start a game slow or just not playing MVP basketball. And so, we'll kind of have to reel everybody back in. Chol does a great job of that, kind of keeping us accountable and making sure we're not just rolling in and expecting to win. Because, like you said, anybody can come in and just roll you any week. So you've always got to be on high alert. You've always got to be ready to go. But that's what makes it so fun and competitive and great to play in, is the fact that it's competitive, the fact that guys are trying to take that top spot every week, which makes it fun to play in. And, I love playing the UBL.
Because I do want to talk about 2 games in particular.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about the first game, Southwest Sonics.
Yep.
Chol didn't play that game.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys still had a pretty solid squad.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say solid. You had a strong squad. But then, they pretty much just came out and punched you guys in the face.
Yeah.
And it was always like, I feel like in the whole gym, everyone was kind of waiting for MVP to creep their way back, but they didn't let you guys.
Yeah.
What is it like not having Chol on that court?
Well, Chol just does a really good job. He's like the glue guy. Like I said earlier, anytime we needed to count on him offensively and shot making, he's always there. But more than that, he's like an extension of the coach. He holds guys accountable. He explains what needs to kind of be the in-game adjustments on the fly. But he does it in a way that brings us all together and keeps us on the same page rather than finger pointing and name calling or anything divisive. He brings us together and unifies, which is, I'd say, one of his biggest strengths. In that game against Southwest Sonics, when he wasn't there, we kind of felt that. And not that we got to a point where it was finger pointing and name calling, but we just didn't feel that unity, and we couldn't, no matter how many timeouts we took, we just couldn't really be on the same page. Even if we were saying the same things, we weren't on the same page.
I feel like there was a lot of people trying to play hero ball, trying to hero it back up.
And that can happen even without guys necessarily having that mindset. It could just be, okay, well,
trying too much.
Someone, like, we don't have it going as a team, so maybe I've got to start getting it going. I can't remember my splits, but I don't think I played well that game. And just, back to your point earlier about teams coming in and rolling you, like, those guys came in, they knew we were one of the top teams, and we were missing one of our guys. Oh, yeah, they're going to take full advantage of that. Like, shout out to Simon Krupez. Like, he's just been an absolute beast all year. He was hard to stop. Johanna was hard to stop. Like, they got some guys over there, so...
Because that's my favorite thing about it. There's those 3 top NBL 1 East teams, and the Southwest Sonics are pretty much like a junior NBL 1 East team, if that makes sense. Like, there's some players there that can take that leap, and they're kind of in those little development roles for NBL 1 East clubs. So can't wait, because I think they're going to be coming fourth. You guys pretty much have locked in a top 2 spot, which is massive, because if you do win that first final, you don't have to play that back-to-back on Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about that crossover game.
Yeah.
That was an intense game.
It was.
How was it like playing in that game?
Honestly, it kind of reminded me of a back-and-forth college game. I haven't been in a game like that since I played college basketball. Just kind of the energy, the feel. It was a very low-scoring game for a UBL game. It was a defensive game, which is why it kind of reminded me of college. Very back-and-forth, high intensity. So it was really fun to play in. That's one of those games that you just love to play in. There was a pretty decent crowd there compared to some of the other games that I've played.
Wait till the finals come, man. People rock up.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. But no, it was a great atmosphere. Obviously, they have some great players as well. Hutch, just to name one. Like, I hope we see them again in the finals. I think that'd be a good rematch. But it was a great game. Great game.
Yeah, because between you, Crossover, Breakdown Black, Southwest Sonics, the D1 finals. Yeah. If it's anything compared to last season, because last season there was pretty much just MVP and Breakdown Black. Yeah. And then Crossover came jumping this season. So, can't wait for this fun to come up. Now, look, I do want to talk about your kind of experience when you did come home. Yeah. I did see you in a lot of the Sydney Kings runs too.
Yeah.
What's that experience like for yourself? And I know you kind of be saying, like, you've been actually, like, playing with players like Xavier Cooks for a while now.
Yeah.
What's that experience like? And is the NBL 1 a dream for yourself?
Yeah. Let's start from when I first came back. every year that I would come back from college, I would stay around the Kings in some capacity, whether it's through workouts, runs, just being in front of the coaches, kind of establishing that relationship. So once I graduated college and, I moved back to Sydney, I was able to – I played a few preseason games with them, which was a great experience. Traveled down to Tasmania with the team, managed to check in and play some minutes, which was – essentially, it was like a dream come true, man. Like, I remember holding the Kings jersey in the locker room before the game, just like, wow, this is
You still have that jersey?
I wish. I have the photo, but I just sat there for a minute and kind of was just holding the jersey up. Even though my last name wasn't on it, nothing like that. It was just a blank jersey. The fact that I was able to, wear a Kings jersey and suit up for the Kings in a preseason NBL game, I was just like, wow, like my 15-year-old self that was paying to come and watch the Kings play just would have been proud, just would have been happy. So I felt all those emotions before that Tassie game. But even once I checked in, obviously it's a different level. NBL players are in the NBL for a reason. But I felt like I belonged. Like I felt like I could definitely be here. It just would take a matter of time. And that's still how I feel. I still feel like I can be an NBL player at some point in my career. It just depends on things aligning. But it's definitely a dream of mine, definitely something that I'm pushing towards and aspiring to get to one day. I don't know necessarily what that path looks like, but I guess at least, training with the Kings as much as I can and whenever they're in town and just kind of being of service with them, learning from those guys, learning from Xavier Cooks, learning from Kendrick Davis, Matthew Dellavedova, Quat Noy, McQuatch, all those guys, Bullquall, going all the way down the line. And even the coaches, just asking questions when applicable, just really trying to soak up and learn as much as I can from them. And then hopefully, one day an opportunity will present itself.
Was there one Sydney King player that kind of like took you under their wing a little bit, or you kind of learned a bit more about what they were about?
That's a good question. Off the court, when we won that Tassie trip, I was talking to Deli a little bit, just asking him questions here and there. Bullquall and McQuatch, Malawatch, they're two guys that throughout practice, because they're similar position to me, I'll kind of pick their brain and ask them some questions about specific things that I might be struggling with. Like I remember one time I asked McQuatch about, trailing a handoff, or if I'm the defender, getting a certain angle to then recover and fight back in front. Little things like that I noticed he was really good at that I hadn't, acquired that skill yet. And of course Xavier Cooks, like he's one of the nicest dudes, in the NBL. But just learning, like I guard him a lot, like learning how he uses his body. Like that guy, I don't think I've seen him miss a layup. Like that guy is absolutely insane.
And that little nice floater that he's got.
Yeah, he's got a lovely touch, lovely floater. Finishes everything around the rim. Guarding him it's a tough job. So even asking him questions about, noticing he takes little, quick, powerful steps rather than big lunges to kind of create his space. Whereas, I'd kind of be a bit out of control sometimes, taking big lunges, trying to, eat up all this space. But just kind of learning those little intricacies from players like that, I feel like it's going to help my game grow and, just make me that much better.
Now, if I was to ask you, if there was one thing that you kind of want to develop or get better that could help you get to your goal, what do you think that would be?
I'd say probably defensively, just being more of a beast defensively, more active, faster, better lateral quickness, better with my hands, and rebounding as well, because it's such an underrated part of the game, but just being an absolute beast on the boards, offensively and defensively. And for me, it's not necessarily a physical kind of problem. It's more of a mental thing. Sometimes if, I get lazy, or if I feel like the team's taking some bad shots, maybe I'll be like, oh, man, I'm not going to rebound. But that's like the worst mentality to have. It's like if your team's taking bad shots, go and crash. Yeah, more rebound opportunities. Just more little things like that. But defensively, just getting better at guarding higher level guys, because, if I want to be in the NBL, I've got to be able to guard. That's going to be kind of one of the takeaway parts of my game is, being a good defender. So just, that's why I love going to the Kings and training with those guys, is because I get to play a lot of defense and it works on, one of my weaknesses at the moment. So yeah, that's I'd say that defensively.
And honestly, that's one of the biggest lessons that, honestly, if anyone is hearing this and they are trying to get to those ranks, is those little plays that when you want to make those teams, is those little hustle plays. That's what the coaches are after from those sort of certain players to try to crack that roster. And then once you crack that roster, you can kind of keep trying to build your own path in that team.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed, man, because, offensively, I see that game. Even defensively, you kind of do have those qualities that you do need to kind of get to that level. So fingers crossed you can get there because, as you said, man, you holding that jersey there at preseason, bro, like, it's close.
Yeah,
it's close.
It's there, like, and even just the invitation, like, it was crazy how it all happened. I remember, like, the day before, I was really questioning myself. I was like, I just moved back from college. I wouldn't say I was disappointed in myself, but, you know, I had high aspirations and high goals for myself. That just because I hadn't achieved them up until that point doesn't mean they're not going to happen. But I was kind of just weighing heavy on myself. I was in practice with them one day, and I was getting cooked a little bit. Like, kind of some of the guys were just getting to their spots, getting easy shots. There's nothing I could do. I was just questioning myself, like, man, like, what am I doing? Like, where am I? Like, why is this happening to me? Rather than, you know, like, I was kind of being more negative rather than trying to take it as a positive. And then literally the next day I got the invitation to go down to Tassie with them. And, you know, that was such an eye-opening trip. I learned a lot. Got that opportunity to throw the Kings jersey on. And like you said, it just gave me that kind of, that hunger again.
Jump start.
Yeah, that little jump start of like, dude, like, you're not there yet, but you're right there. So just keep doing.
It's kind of like what you talked about at the start with the whole petrol being empty.
Yeah,
Just
like,
pumped you up full tank.
yeah, like, it gave me like just that desire that like, dude, like just don't give up. Like, that's the main thing, is don't give up. And like, you've done such a job of that up until this point. Like, just don't give up. And that's like a piece of advice I'd give out to any young hoopers, especially in Sydney. Like, you never know where this game will take you. I had no idea it would take me from not being a rep player to being a 1,000-point scorer in college. From, you know, being a Division III North's junior rep player to a Division I starting power forward, small forward, whatever. Like, the game can take you in crazy places. It can open insane doors for you if you commit enough to it. It's like with anything. The more you commit to it, the more you get out of it. So just keep that hunger alive, keep that drive alive, and like you said, you know, believe in yourself. Just believe you can do it. Like, you might not know the way, you might not know how it's going to look, but if you have a goal, just believe you can achieve it. And
your journey, your story.
Your journey, your story. Like, no journey, no story is going to be identical. Yeah. And who would listen to the second story if it was identical to another? Yeah. Everybody would just look at the first one and say that was the blueprint. So if you feel like your story is different, if you feel like your journey is different, it's because it is, and there's value in that. So keep feeding that, keep that alive, and just keep going. That would just be a little snippet of advice I'd give.
Yeah, because I want to talk about the whole thing because, as you said, you went to America to kind of chase that NBA dream that, honestly, thousands of kids, probably tens of thousands of kids have every single season, every year. But you kind of came back. How was that for you? Because I know a lot of kids go through that process where they come back and go, shit, like, what am I going to do now, sort of thing?
Yeah.
How tough was that for you?
It was tough. Again, I was kind of tossing up between, am I disappointed in myself? Like, how do I really feel about this? The first thing that comes to mind is, you know, you shoot for the stars and you land on the moon. You're not aiming for the moon, but it's a hell of a lot closer to the stars than where you started. So, you know, I was aiming for the stars and I landed on the moon. But if you're on the moon and you're looking back at Earth, are you going to just be like, I'm just going to go back? Or would you keep trying to go for the stars? You're like, I'm already here, may as well. So that's kind of where I got to, just at each step of the journey. I can't even say it was like specifically once I came home. It was more, there's a tale-old story of whenever you achieve something, you look up and you just want to achieve more. Yeah. You're never really truly grounded in the present. And so, like, don't don't get complacent, but be content with where you are. Be happy with where you are and be happy with what you've achieved, but don't allow where you currently are to be the end all.
Yeah.
Just keep striving, keep trying to achieve more. And again, you'll never know where it can take you. So yeah, I try to stay out of the mind frame of being disappointed with how my journey went, and I try and look back and reflect on ways and things I can take away that were positive. Like for example, if you were to look at my stats from my first year at Fairfield to my last year at Fairfield, pretty sure all my numbers dropped. My minutes per game dropped, my points per game dropped, rebounds, all that stuff dropped. So upon first glance, I'd be like disappointed. I'd be like, yeah, that was a disappointing year. Like I told you earlier, I was like an underwhelming year, but I'd say the most valuable things I took from that were things that couldn't be measured. It was leadership. It was learning how to talk to people, learning how to communicate a message to the entire team, trying to teach people how to buy in. All those little things that in my first year in Fairfield, I didn't have that leadership role. I wasn't a captain my first year. I had to learn from a lot of my teammates, so that second year rolled around, I was able to fulfill that role despite what my stats were. So yeah, just really trying to figure out what key pieces you can take away from it, be it performance-based or, interactive based, whatever it is, just try and take something positive away from it.
No, hey, beautifully said. Because I'm a big believer in no man's ever going to be perfect, but if you can go to sleep and wake up that day, you're blessed, and then just try to be that best version of yourself every day. Keep stacking those days, and then you never know where you're going to get. Because my biggest message is, especially like when I go talk to a lot of the younger kids, they always say like, oh, my dream is to play for Sydney FC sort of thing. I was like, bro, why are you limiting yourself there? Like, who's your favourite team? Man United. Say you want to play for Man United, so then you walk different, you kind of strut your stuff. When you go training, if you just say you want to play for Sydney FC, you might cut corners, you might do all those things, but if you want to go to Man United, you're not going to cut any corners. And if you see one of your teammates cut corners, you're going to call him out on it. Yeah. And that's what it is, bro. You just got to dream for the stars, man. Yeah. You never know what you're going to get.
Shoot for the stars and land on the moon.
That's it, man. Yeah. Now, look, we are going to do some NBA talk.
Yep.
I know.
Let's do it.
Well, from what I last remembered, you were a Clippers fan?
I was, yeah. Shout out Blake Griffin. I was. No more. Because Blake Griffin retired. And so did my my loyalty to the Clippers, unfortunately.
So who you support, a player now or a team? Or you just kind of just follow the game?
I'd say player first, but honestly, this season, the Rockets. I'm really liking the Rockets and the basketball they're playing. I like the Mavs lineup. I like the pieces they have. I don't know.
They need Kyrie and AD.
Yeah. Like I want to see them fully healthy. I like when they have Kyrie and AD. But yeah, no, the Rockets, they're exciting. They're good basketball. I like Amen Thompson. He's an absolute just genetic freak, athletic beast. And yeah, the pieces they have around it, I think they could be good. But
I hate the Houston Rockets.
Yeah.
I'm a Detroit Pistons fan.
I like Detroit, though. I like Cade Cunningham.
And you got the whole Cade, Jalen Green beef at the start.
No, I remember seeing Cade in high school. He when he was on that crazy high school team he played my prep school's high school team and beat us by 80 points.
Bro, he is, honestly, like, as a Detroit Piston fan, because we've had some dark days.
Yeah.
We had some great days early in the early 2000s, but then we had some very, very dark days.
For a good, 10 years. Maybe even longer.
15. I'll say 15. And the only thing that kind of did save me watching the Pistons, because I watch every single Pistons game. Like,
okay.
I could have the work, like, I literally plan my work schedule around Pistons games. So I make sure that during 11 to about 1, I'm not doing anything. Like, my calendar's clean so I can actually watch Pistons game.
Yeah.
And I remember those times, man. There used to be Lakers up against Nuggets, and I'd be like, nah, I'm watching my Pistons. And Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose, they literally saved the Pistons. Just being able to watch them.
Oh, I remember.
And for me, honestly, that was pretty much prime. That was pretty much prime Blake Griffin, where he didn't have the explosiveness, but his game.
He had the skill, the technicality.
So I want to ask, what have you taken from Blake Griffin's game?
Nah, honestly, it's actually wild because I'll watch Blake Griffin highlights and I'll see the way he moves. And there was it sounds crazy, that stretch I was in the US, I pretty much did not watch NBA. I was a big NBA fan growing up, living in Sydney. And then I moved to the US, and I think it just got a lot of basketball. I was playing hours and hours every day, but I also didn't have like any cable TV or any kind of connection. Like I just had a laptop. I didn't have a PS4 or anything, so I couldn't really watch proper games. But this year and kind of recently, I've been seeing a lot of Blake Griffin highlights, and I'm like, yo, I subconsciously move just like that.
Bro, there was a fadeaway, a jump shot. You hit it on the left corner. You did a little fadeaway shot.
Was
it
it
the last
3 games ago?
Yeah, 2-3 games ago. I remember that shot, man. I was like, hey, that was prime Blake at Detroit.
It's actually weird, like, and again, like, it shouldn't be surprising because this was someone that I looked up to, and I essentially modeled my game after when I was younger. So it shouldn't be surprising, but it kind of is, like, just growing up and now as a man looking back and going like, wow, like, this was someone that I used to watch as a kid and grow up, you know, like wanting to play like, and I actually feel like I kind of play like him in a way. Obviously, his highlights are way better than mine. Yeah, like obviously that's
got a better 3-ball.
That's very, very clear, and he's much bigger than I am. But yeah, it's interesting to see like how similar our games are and how I move kind of similarly to he did. Yeah, it's interesting. It's good though.
'Cause that's one of my favorite thing. Like, and the reason why I kind of like love covering basketball is someone asked me, is like, why do you feel like you can actually make those calls and stuff like that when you actually pick who's gonna win and stuff like that? Is because for me, like, I don't just actually like watch the players and the highlights. I actually watch how they kind of interact with their teammates, how they interact after a bad call, how they interact after a turnover, and all those things. And all those things kind of play a massive part, especially if you do want to kind of win that championship.
Yeah.
And look, we're gonna do an interesting take here. We're gonna do our NBA draft with current players only.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to do point guard to center. We're going to go one each. We'll kind of do like a little snake draft. So as the guest, you kind of get first crack at point guard.
My favorite point guard in the league right now?
Yeah. Who would your team be? Like, if you were like, you know what? They get to play for you in an all-star game, who are you picking?
Respectfully, I've got to pick Steph.
Is your point guard?
Yeah, just all respect to him and what he's done for the game. And also his shooting, like, can't replicate that. So at the one I'm going. Oh, I like Cade though. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah, you can't pick Cade. Come on,
I know. I'll leave that for you. I'll go Steph.
Nah, you
I'll
can
go
do
Steph.
it. You got first pick.
I'll go Steph.
I'll trade
is
my
the
whole
first
team
pick.
for you.
Yeah, Steph at the one.
Yeah, I'm locking in Cade. I had I think 6th pick in my fantasy draft. Got Cade.
Yeah.
In my other competition, I didn't get Cade. Someone drafted him, I think 5th. I had to trade Scotty Barnes, and I think it was someone else that was pretty decent. But I was like, bro, whoever you want, bro, take him. Just give him my boy. So yeah, I'll definitely pick Cade. At shooting guard, it's a bit tough, that position. If healthy, honest to God, I'd probably choose Kyrie as my shooting guard. I love Kyrie.
Good pick.
I love the way he plays the game, but I also love the way he carries himself off the court.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely pick Kyrie as my shooting guard.
I'll go just off of straight excitement, great to watch, Ant Edwards. He could be a 3, right?
You get the next 2
Okay,
picks. You get the next 2 picks.
I'll go Ant Edwards and Amen Thompson as the next 2. So yeah, my 1 Steph, 2 Amen Thompson, and we'll go Ant Edwards 3.
All right. For my 3, damn, I would go as my small forward. Damn, look, you know what? It's not like who's the greatest. It's actually players that I love, and I got him in my fantasy team. I'm one of those ones where, like, if they're my boys sort of thing.
Yeah.
Go Jaylen Brown. He dropped a nice 40 piece today for me.
Yeah.
And I just love everything that his game. Even the way he carries himself off the court, sort of thing. He's got the brains.
Yeah, he does. He's a smart guy.
The way he carries himself too.
Yeah.
So I'll go him. At the 4, I'll grab Giannis.
Okay.
I'll grab Giannis.
I'll go small, and I got to stay with the loyalty of favorite players, and he's still playing now, so I'll pick up Kelly Oubre.
Kelly Oubre.
Yeah.
I love Kelly
See,
Oubre.
look, he's a little not what he used to be, but that 2019-2020 season,
Phoenix Suns?
when he was with the Phoenix
I've
Suns,
got that jersey, bro. That's one of my favorite jerseys.
I've never been able to find that jersey. That's one jersey that as a grown man I would buy, but yeah, that 2019-2020 season, that was kind of when I transitioned from Blake being my favorite player. I had found like a new favorite player.
What was the celebration?
Yeah, I was blowing out in JUCO my first year. That was my
Yeah.
3 points. I remember it's corny, but I remember in my highlight tape, I'm after an M1 doing push-ups on the ground, like thinking I'm like Kelly. But just loyalty-wise, I put him at the 4.
Hey, I respect the shit out of that, man. I love Kelly Oubre. Like, honestly,
I love
like,
Kelly.
because sometimes we play Oztag sort of thing or basketball or anything like that, and I see that Kelly Oubre jersey, I put it on, I just feel different. I feel different, man. Because he had swag, man.
He did,
he
and
was-
like, yeah, I think that was like part of, you know, like his game as well, like that swag, the confidence, like it just kind of allowed him to be what he was, you know, those few years.
He still has those moments for Philly now. He still has those
Yeah, and
moments.
I kind of like him on Philly. Philly.
Hey, they got to
have
trade
that-
PG. They got to trade PG for whatever they can, man.
Get him up out of there.
Yeah,
He's-
even
he's-
Embiid if they can. Straight
Speak
up.
about not what he used to be.
Yeah.
All respect to Paul George, of course, but yeah, he's not what he used
All
to
right,
be.
and then you get the center position.
Wemby.
Wemby?
Yeah, I got to. Just because we've never seen anything like that before. If I could say there was one player that I'd want to play against at some point, LeBron, yeah, sure, but he's too old. Wemby would be probably
Yeah, Wemby's nice.
that next player for sure.
Look, at center, I'd probably, in my heart, want to say Jalen Duren.
I was thinking Jalen
but
Duren for you.
I've got to respect Jokic.
Okay,
The way
yeah.
he kind of conducts himself on the court, man.
Yeah.
He doesn't even look like he tries half the
No,
time.
no,
bro.
not at all. It doesn't look like he
And
wants
every
to be a
time he's
basketball
dropping, 30, 15 and 15. Shooting efficiently too.
Yeah.
He never takes a dumb shot.
I'm not gonna lie. I think your team's whooping my team, but I live with it.
You know what? So as long as it's a fun game, so it's just an all-star game, so be some good fun. But look, I do want to say thank you for kind of joining the show today.
Of course.
It's been honestly a pleasure actually just meeting you,
Nah,
and then
thank
also
you.
kind of having those interactions at UBL.
Yeah.
And then when I found out you were actually going to play in the NB1 East, I was like, hey man, like this is going to be good, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So what can we expect from Louis Bleechmore in the next sort of 5 years, man? What do you want to be known for? Like, what is your legacy that you want to leave behind? Because I know you do a bit of coaching too. Can you tell us a bit of coaching?
Yeah. So I do have a coaching business. It's called LB Elite Basketball Academy. I'm really trying to get it off the ground. And in regards to like a legacy and what I want to leave behind, anything that I've learned about the game, anything that I've learned about life, I hope to pass on any kind of wisdom that I've been blessed with onto the next generation. In my opinion, there's no point in holding on to wisdom that you've been enlightened with if you're just going to hold on to it. As God blesses me with wisdom, I shall use that same wisdom to bless others. So in the coaching realm, in the basketball realm, anything that I can pass off, I'll leave with the next generation. In regards to LB Elite Basketball Academy, I offer individual skills training workouts, group sessions, any kind of basketball coaching. I do eventually want to get to a point where maybe I have some teams and I can really coach and get down to the X's and O's and stuff. We're still in the very early stages of kind of building it up. And I'm also really trying to focus on my playing career first. But I also have to, kind of just prepare and have in mind like what else I want to do with my life. Because obviously I'm not getting any younger.
So before you continue, like my love of the game question to you is,
Yeah.
what would make me a better person and a better man if I was to join your program?
Oh, in any way you could imagine. Because what you were to gain from an experience is all about what you take away from it. What I would provide is a detailed plan of how you can become the best player you can be, how you can continue to grow in the direction that you want. We'd get your skills better. We'd get your mind right. We'd map out a plan of what you want to achieve, be it play college basketball, play high school basketball, stay in Australia, whatever your goal is, figure out a plan of how you're going to get there. Because I know it can be quite confronting, daunting. You don't, especially when you're younger, you don't know what direction you want to head in. So as someone who's kind of been in that position before, not really knowing what to do, and having met a lot of people along the way that have helped me open certain doors and gotten me to certain places that I was able to play in, I would help those same kids that want to come in find out what options they have, introduce them to coaches that I met, get them in touch with prep schools, colleges, anything that I can, to really just kind of the same opportunities that I had and that I was exposed to, just try and expose the kids to the same kind of opportunities that I had. So again, very early stages, but I'm accepting anybody that is ready with a work ethic and wants to just get in the gym and grind and get some workouts in. Feel free to DM me on Instagram, either through at Coach Louis B3 or through my main, just at Louis Bleechmore. And yeah, we can get to work.
Beautiful. Look, for myself, I love the game. I actually can't wait to see your journey and your story and where it's going to take you.
Yes, sir.
And that wraps us up for today. If you do like the show, make sure you do like and subscribe to hear more stories from upcoming stars, established stars, and a few OGs that we're going to have in store. So stay tuned for that. Till next time, take care.
Thank you.
Appreciate that, man.
No worries, man.
Appreciate
Thank
that.
you, bro. Thank you.